Hello everybody. And I thought I've been talking a lot about shrimp tanks lately, and I haven't done a whole lot of stuff about my guppy videos, so I thought I'd do a quick talk about my guppy tanks. Just a little quick tour of all the different guppy tanks and different lines I've got going on in here. So this tank right here is a 29-gallon Panda guppy tank, and these guys are without a doubt my favorite guppy line I've got right now. These are the dwarf pandas. See little males, lots of little fry swimming around. See if we can find some more fry in here. They're like hiding back there in that pearlweed. So that's what pearlweed looks like. It grows pretty slow with low light and no CO2, but it does grow. And I like it quite a bit. There was some new drops in here the last couple, sometime earlier this week. With the new ones, they hide in the rocks and in the pearlweed. There's some smaller guys right there. Those are probably a couple weeks old. Love my panda guppies. Like them a lot. And then we come over here to these tanks, and this is my breeding group of king kois. Females are hiding somewhere. Yeah, there's one. And there's 2 or 3 more in there. There's another one coming out. And I have 3 more females. They are in breeder boxes right now. This one looks like she may be getting close to dropping. I like these guys a lot. Takes me a while to get their growth, but you can tell they're starting to get their king koi get almost like a win, kind of like goldfish do, fancy goldfish. These guys get a kind of a version of that. And this tank, when I had, it will be a guppy tank. There's nothing in here right now. This will be the full red fry tank. Full red fry grout tank. When I get some fry. And then this tank here, this is a grow out half black green fry tank, and they're not really fry anymore. So this is all one drop. They're starting to look pretty good. And then one of the lines I've had longer than any of them, I think this is one of the first line. This is the first line I got. This is my breeding group of red mosaic guppies. This is my male and one of his girlfriends. His other girlfriend, his 2 other girlfriends are in breeder boxes right now. These fins are almost too big. They're breeding for the biggest fins and the best colors. Had these guys for 4 years. The older he gets, the bigger he just keeps getting bigger and bigger fins. But normally he still chases the females and he gets done what needs to be got done. And then down here in this tank, this is the king koi fry tank, and fry have been slow to come, but there's a couple in here somewhere. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it right now, but there's definitely some fry in here. At least a couple. They're pretty young. So that's that. Oh, I don't think he's going to make an appearance. Let's see. Disappointing. You gotta take my word for it. There's a couple in here. Guess they're not. I guess they're hiding. Plenty of shrimp. Alright. Next thing we have here is my guppy pond. So I've been talking a lot about calling shrimp, and even just as important when you are breeding guppies, you need to have a place somewhere to put the ones who aren't quite up to par for the line. So even if a fish is still perfectly healthy, perfectly fine, perfectly beautiful, it doesn't adhere to the guidelines and the traits of that particular line. And those guys end up in here, which guppy pond is looking really good right now. This mermaid weed is really doing good. Tons of Ludwigia. And these are impatiens. They're grown in my filter and doing magnificent. Like you see, there's a koi, but she don't have the orange spot on her face, so she ended up in here. And I've had every line of guppy I've ever had in the last 4 years has some kind of genetics in here at one point, so they just breed and reproduce and do whatever they want. But see, this is pretty cool. I love my guppy pond. It's probably one of the things I like the most about this hobby is my guppy mix tank. There's plecos and coal shrimp in here too. There's all kinds of stuff going on in here. And it's pretty amazing. It's the middle of January here in Indiana, and I got flowers going on in the house. That's pretty cool, I think, because I'm a nerd like that and love plants and guppies and shrimp. But there's literally hundreds of guppies in here. I use it as a plant farm as well, so there's plenty of cover, plenty of fry make it. It's pretty cool. I'm really happy with this. Is the best right now. It's probably the best this has ever looked, so I wanted to catch it on video. I thought about just doing another pond video, but I'll talk about all my guppy lines right now since I've been talking about shrimp so much. But yeah, this is one of my favorite parts of breeding guppies, is having this great big pond full of plants. Alrighty, So then we'll come in here. We've got guppy tanks here, guppy tanks here. All those are guppy tanks. And then all these 40s here. Most of these are my shrimp tanks and pleco tanks. But this, 2 of them are dedicated to guppies as well. This is a guppy tank and this is a guppy tank. And my fish room closet. So we'll start up here. And we've got, you can see, these are the rainbow tiger endlers that I've had since the very beginning. I've had these guys for 4 years. Still looking pretty good, I think, even after all these years. Doing good. And this is my red mosaic. Below that is my red mosaic colony tank. Right now I've been doing some calling and in between breeding. This one might be a candidate for my next breeder male right here. He got a little nick missing in his tail, but other than that, he's really nice. Now, this tank below that, this is my red mosaic fry tank. There's about a dozen fry in here right now. They're probably maybe a week old, maybe a little bit older. They're doing good. These are the 2 girlfriends of my red mosaic male. We got these guys. They're getting close to dropping. They're still young, so they're not that big, but getting real close. And this is my king koi tank, where once the fry grow up, they come and live in here. Right now I culled all the bad females, and these males were fry, and they've been growing up in here. And here are the, it's gonna be hard to get a good view of this, because these breeder bucks are gross after they drop. They're getting pretty close to dropping some fry, I believe. So that's why they're in breeder boxes. And down here, this tank isn't really doing a whole lot. It's kind of a leftovers and runovers of my midnight blue Moscow line. I think there's only males in here right now. This is eventually going to be some kind of a fry tank. I just haven't decided what. This thing's kind of in between things right now. So then that will bring us, come back over this way. Mainly a community. This is my Nebula Steel line I've had for a long time now. This is a basket for fry cover. There's got to be some fry in here because some of these females look quite a bit thinner. So there's probably some fry. I haven't really looked at it this close today since the lights just now come on. And this great big giant female. I've been waiting for this thing to drop for I don't know how long now. She's been in here for a while. She just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So she's probably going to drop a lot. And then below here, hopefully I can get some decent shots here. my Japan blue. It's supposed to be lure swordtail, but sometimes they throw double swordtails, and I like it. So you might get lure swordtails, you might get lower swordtails, you might get double swordtails. Either way, I like them quite a bit. And these guys, they don't really eat their fry. They're amazing. I like them a whole bunch. That one's getting ready to drop. So there's tons in here. I don't even bother with adding anything extra for fry cover because enough make it. We got lots of guppies in here. Doing really good. I like them a lot. And then here we've got the full red breeder tank, but this is still a new line. Last time these dropped a bunch of empty eggs, so I'm thinking maybe these females are getting too old. This one looks like she might be getting close, but there's nothing else in the tank right now other than a whole bunch of really cool shrimp. Used to have a black rose line, the shrimp, and it got too much to take care of, but this is the remnants of it. So there's still lots of really cool black and blue shrimp in here. Alright, I had to climb on the floor for a second. And you remember that tank full of half black green fry? This is the other tank for these guys. This is still my original male. If he gets in the right light, it's just cut with the light spectrum. They can look blue or they can look green. When I first got them, they dropped some fry pretty quickly, and then they were just living in there. They grew up in there with the adults, and handful made it. And that's what that young guy is, the younger females and the young male. The 3 females and the big male, those are the originals. Half black greens. So I already got enough fry of those guys in that 20-gallon tank. So I'm not going to try to do too much more at that with these guys. Now I went for those fry to grow up, and I might have to dedicate the other tank that I was talking about on the floor over there on the other side to these guys, because I got so many of them. I just haven't figured it out for sure yet. And down here on the floor, this is a red grass colony. It's alright. I used to have, and then I got this great big fry cage for fry cover in here. So when they start, I'm sure there's fry in here already. They all look super pregnant. That one's real boxy looking right there. So they all look like they're about to bust. There's going to be a whole bunch of fry in here. And then, so that leaves us the 2 40-gallon tanks to talk about. Alright, sorry about the reflection here. These are the Midnight Blue Moscow line. Right now I'm just colony breeding these guys. And I built this big rock pile, and underneath the rocks is a pond basket turned upside down. So the fry can get in through the rocks and go inside the basket, and nothing can get them. The shrimp like it as well. The shrimp in here are what used to be some green jades. There's still some pretty decent ones in here, but I haven't kept up with it. So they're just low quality green jades right now. And then I wish they would make an appearance, but there are some long fin blue-eyed lemon plecos in here, and they've been out a lot lately. I don't see any right now. And we got Some a little bit older fry swimming around. They're not that old. Pretty fun tank. And then down here is another full red tank. You remember me talking about the one tank that was empty waiting for fry. So what has happened is I had all these fry when I first got the line, and they're now getting ready. I might put them big old females in here back with the original male, and I was afraid I had all female fry. So the male had been switching back and forth between them two old big females in this tank, so I knew these females here were starting to get sexually mature. It looks like he's hit them because it looks like a lot of these older ones are close to dropping. They're definitely hit. And then I do end up having at least a couple males in here. They're just taking a while to color up, I suppose. This one's starting to get some red on his body. Here, right there. And so what the plan is with this line is I have that breeder tank, and then I have the fry tank, and then this is where they all, when they get growed up, this is where they all come to live, to grow up, and if they don't make the cut, they go live in the pond, or I keep them. And these are just mine to have and sell when they're ready to be sold. I don't know how much I want to sell these just yet or not. There's like 3 or 4 drops in here, and then I haven't had any more drops out of them big ones since these younger ones. So I think last time they should drop empty eggs. So I think they might. I'm not sure. Something was up. Yeah, he's getting the red on his body starting to show up. I'm excited to get my males growing up, because that's my male and he is the original one I got. Another line I got from my buddy Valley Fish. These guys are one of my favorites too. So that's what's been going on. I know I've been talking a lot about shrimp, and be making some more shrimp videos. But I wanted to make a nice, decent update video on my guppies. So call it a first guppy tour of 2021. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.